Hello everyone, welcome to ENbreezEN, the daily current affairs news analysis by Team Enlight. The topics we will be discussing today are Nipah virus. So why was this in news? A boy was infected by Nipah virus in Kozhikode and he died. So what is the Nipah virus? The Nipah virus is a zoonotic virus, that is, it is transmitted from animals to humans, and it is an RNA virus of the genus Henipavirus. So these are important from prelims point of view to be remembered. And as you already know, 2 years ago also there was an outbreak of Nipah virus in Kerala in the Kozhikode district itself. So how does it spread? The infection is generally transmitted from animals to human beings, mainly from bats and pigs. The human to human transmission is also possible, and the virus is mainly in the natural form. It is hosted by fruit bats of the Pteropodida family, and it is mainly occurring in South and Southeast Asia regions. So what are the symptoms in humans of Nipah virus? The basic symptoms are fever, muscle pain, respiratory problems. There is also inflammation of the brain which may cause disorientation. Encephalitis may also occur. Also, there have been cases of asymptotic transmission observed in Nipah virus. So, is there any cure or vaccine for this? No, till now there has been no cure or vaccine, but according to WHO, the ribavirin can reduce the symptoms of nausea, vomiting, convulsions, etc., which are associated with this disease. So usually they usually hospitalize the infected person and isolate them from others so that the virus does not spread further. So certain facts and figures: for the first time the virus was observed in the Kampong Songai Nipah village of Malaysia, and that's from where the name comes from. The first outbreak in India happened in Siliguri in 2001. Then comparison with coronavirus, the spread of the infection. The Nipah virus is known to spread far more slowly as compared to SARS-CoV-2. Mortality: the fatality rate in Nipah virus is much higher as compared to the coronavirus. It is around 40 to 75% in Nipah. It found that there have been antibodies against Nipah virus present in certain bat species as given over here, which were found in the caves in Mahabaleshwaram, that is in Maharashtra. And they also studied the immune system of the bats, which is actually able to withstand these infections and has a limit to excessive inflammation. So let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic today is satellite phones. So why was this in news? The iPhone 13, which is due to be announced soon, will support low orbit satellite communication. So what is a satellite phone? So basically a satellite phone or a sat phone is a type of mobile phone that connects to other telephone networks by radio through orbiting satellites instead of the terrestrial towers as you see in general. So there are two different types, that is, one satellite phone uses geostationary satellites. These satellites appear at a fixed position in the sky. The system can maintain near continuous global coverage with the help of 3 to 4 satellite systems. So you should know a bit about geostationary satellites, like they are very heavy, around 5000 kg, and they are usually observed at an altitude of around 36,000 kilometers from the Earth's surface, and these are the two examples given over here. Next we come to the low Earth orbit satellites, which are going to be used for iPhone 13. So the advantage is the possibility of providing worldwide wireless coverage with no gaps, and they are high speed, low altitude orbits, and they take around 70 to 100 minutes in order to complete one revolution, and they are present at an altitude of around 600 to 1200 kilometers. So the important thing to be noted here is there will be a noticeable delay in when we are using geostationary satellites due to the huge or the large distance between the user and the satellite. Also, the amount of bandwidth available in the geostationary is much higher than what is available in the low Earth orbit systems. So now we will come to the difference between cellular and satellite phones. So cellular phones, as we already know, are based on the land based tower systems. That is how they transmit the phone calls, whereas for satellite phone the signal is transmitted by the satellites orbiting in the Earth's orbit. So the cell phones, they attach to the closest tower when we move from one area to the other, whereas for the satellite phones, the signal from one device is transmitted directly to the nearest satellite, and then that sends the signal to the nearest gateway or the land-based center, which further transmits the signal to the receiving phone. The cell phones may experience weak signal or dropped calls, etc., which may not be so observed in the satellite phones, because the cell phones are dependent on tower to support their calls. So what are the advantages of the satellite phone? They have continuous signals even in areas like middle of the ocean or remote wilderness. They have better connectivity in remote areas. As you can see over here in the diagram, we have shown how the two systems work. So next topic for today is e-waste management. So why was this in news? IIT Madras is developing a new model to tackle the e-waste by linking the various stakeholders in the informal and the formal economy. So what is e-waste? Basically, it is old end-of-life discarded electronic appliances, which may include various computer components, other consumables, and so on. So what are the various challenges in managing e-waste? The first challenge is the huge amount of e-waste which is generated. Around 53.6 million tons of e-waste is generated every year. India is the third largest producer of e-waste, but only 5% of the e-waste is recycled properly. The second most problem in India is that most of the recycling happens in the informal sector, and it is leading to hazardous health conditions, etc., for the people working in this sector. Next, the e-waste consists of toxic elements like lead, mercury, cadmium, and so on. And if it is not disposed properly, or if it is burned away, it can have serious implications on the human health, cause air and soil pollution, underground contamination, leakage of harmful materials such as heavy metals, etc., into the landfills, etc. So what does the new platform, or how does this new platform basically help? So basically it is an exchange platform that will serve as an online marketplace for waste of both electrical, electronic equipments, and facilitate a formal supply chain between the various stakeholders. So it will provide an open source platform to evolve towards using machine learning for better traceability of e-waste and its compliance guidelines, etc., as well as increase the opportunities for repair and reuse of this e-waste. Next, it will also improve the livelihoods of all the youth, women, children, etc., which are already involved in this business, and hence upgrading their skills and improving the occupational health and safety, reducing the toxic materials flow in the waste stream, and broaden the market. And also affordable second hand e-devices, etc., will be made available, because there will be a registry of all this available. So over here we have mentioned the e-waste management policy, which all parts does it cover. You can go through them. So over here this is the e-waste management rules 2016. I will not go into the details. The most important part over here is to be the extended producer responsibility, which is taken from the Norway model, and producer responsibility organizations. You can read about this in the details as given over here. So next is certain facts and figures which may be important from prelims point of view. India's first e-waste clinic, it is located in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Then EPR implementation in Norway, how does it work, which is being also implemented in India now, that is domestic producers and importers to finance the e-waste collection and treatment systems. Then Basel Convention, which regulates the transboundary movement of hazardous waste, including the e-waste. So the way forward is a national registry taking account of the producers operating in the country, and the amount of the electronic waste introduced by them in the market must be maintained based on the Norway model. This you can use in your mains answer writing as well. So the next topic for today is account aggregators. So recently 8 of India's major banks, as given over here, joined the account aggregators network. So what is this account aggregator? So the account aggregator is a non-banking financial company, that is an NBFC, which is engaged in providing under a contract the service of retrieving or collecting financial information pertaining to a customer. So basically it is engaged in consolidating, organizing, presenting such information to the customer or any other financial information user may, as it may be specified by the bank. So, few features of the account aggregators are: it is based on the explicit consent of the individual client. There is sharing and consumption of data, but not storing of the client's data. This is important to remember. It is based on the data blind, that is, the data flow through the account aggregator is encrypted. Then next is the the regulatory support is provided by RBI and other financial service regulators. So how does it work? It has a three-tier structure. That is, the first one is the account aggregators, the financial information providers, and the financial information users. So over here, as you can see in the figure, these are the financial information providers, that is the bank, mutual fund houses, insurance providers, tax GST platforms. Then financial information users may be flow based credit, personal finance management, wealth management, robot advisors, and so on. And this is done through these account aggregators. So here I have mentioned all the regulators which will be taking in charge for this account aggregators. And how does the AA what does it do? So over here in brief I will discuss. It reduces basically the bank traffic, as now everything will be available under one roof. Then there is data security. It improves better flow of data and better information for the customer, and also reduces the cost, as you need not go physically to different bank accounts where you have banks, etc. It can all be provided digitally with your consent. So thank you for listening and have a great day ahead.